Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal fans have already started doing the mathematics. If we beat Madrid and then face Liverpool and beat Liverpool in the semi-finals, and maybe we get Bayer Leverkusen on the final, could that mean that Arsenal could still win the Champions League? Honestly, in terms of titles and silverware this campaign, if you're an Arsenal fan, it seems a little bit doomy and gloomy. However, with that one win, 7-1 against PSV Eindhoven, Arsenal were the first team to officially qualify for the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League, although it's not yet over. But PSV know they can't come to the Emirates Stadium and overturn that result. The big question now becomes, Arsenal, should we focus on the UEFA Champions League? Many Arsenal fans right now, including our legend, Thierry Daniel Henry, has come out and said, listen, we can go and do it. We can go all the way. We can't fight Liverpool for the title. It's theirs to biblically throw away, to biblically lose. It looks like the Champions League is our only hope. So the question I want to pose to you, can Arsenal win the Champions League this campaign? Do you believe that we can win it? And do you think that we have whatever it takes to go all the way? We're going to be diving into all possible scenarios. What if Arsenal beat PSV and we get Madrid? What if we get Atletico Madrid? And after that, what if we go to the semi-finals and then you find, instead of Liverpool, you find Aston Villa? Maybe instead of Villa, you find Liverpool. What happens that? What would be the easiest way to Arsenal getting to the final? And which opponents would we want to find on the final in order for us to stand a chance? It's a little bit diluted, but let's watch it. Now, of course, Arsenal did beat PSV 7-1, and that is the reason why everyone woke up in good energy, high energy, and everyone really believes now that we've got a chance to win the Champions League. Honestly, if we are to be honest, the Premier League is gone. Liverpool have done quite an incredible job in terms of opening up a huge point difference, which is 13 between us and them, although we have a game in hand, which again is not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee that Arsenal will win that game in hand. Our form in the Premier League this season has been nothing but catastrophic, and that is highlighted by all the times Liverpool have dropped points and we have failed to capitalize. But in my opinion, that is not the real reason why Arsenal have not won anything this campaign. I think the real reason we haven't won anything this campaign is we set out to win the Premier League, and we have not done so, and therefore we found ourselves giving up on the FA Cup early, giving up on the Carabao Cup, maybe not early, but we didn't give enough to warranty us going to the final. I really don't care. If Arsenal can still win the Champions League, then that's all that matters. Maybe we should say that. So the Premier League is over. Mathematically, we still have around 30 to 33 points to play for, and anyone could tell you that anything can happen. Liverpool can crash into a bad record form, and then you have their players get injured and they lose game after game after game after game. The question with Arsenal is, if Liverpool lost game after game after game, would Arsenal win game after game after game after game? I don't think so. Now, if you go onto the posts on this channel and scroll down a little bit, you will see one of the posts that I made, and it was my opinion, where I said Arsenal need to focus on the UEFA Champions League because it might be an easier route to silverware. And I want to explain that post now because I think it makes more sense right now than it did a couple of weeks ago when I put it out. Like, I put it out to motivate myself and motivate the fan base to feel there is something to play for this campaign. But now, not anymore. I actually believe my words, and I believe that the Premier League is gone and the Champions League is an easier route to silverware than the Premier League. Basically, yeah, it is for me. So what could Arsenal do to win the Champions League? And why do I think it's easier? Having gone over PSV, Arsenal will have to face Madrid or Atletico in the quarterfinals. That will be next month in April. And there's a big chance that Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka will both be back. If not, one of them will be available. And of course, we want Bukayo Saka to be available because we know how important he is to the team. And we know that we can rely on him and we can trust him to do things that no one else does in this Arsenal team. So with Saka coming back and Martinelli coming back, and Arsenal playing either Madrid or Atletico in April, with a couple of, I would say, non-pressure games around there, unless Mikel Arteta is purely deluded, forget about the Premier League and treat all those games around April as games to keep us in second. If you win, you win. If you don't, it's okay. We can focus next season. So it looks like Arsenal have two important games coming up between now, as per time of recording. This is the 5th of March and the end of April. And those two games are either Madrid at home, Atletico at home, or Madrid away, Atletico away. Now, why I think that for us winning the Champions League could be easier, I think psychologically, first and foremost, we don't have this mental block that we have in the Premier League right now. Oh, it's 13 points, it's gone. Even if Arsenal win their game in hand, it will be 10 points between us and Liverpool. And that means that Liverpool have to drop points in in three games, and Arsenal have to capitalize. And we have seen this campaign, Arsenal are not really interested in capitalizing when Liverpool drop points. We are interested in dropping points when they do. So I think psychologically, we have this, free space, and we have this freedom to think, dream, and be optimistic that the Champions League is an open race, and we are part of that open race. Secondly, I think that performance against PSV will give us a lot of confidence, because coming into that game, everyone really had written Arsenal off as if they go past PSV, it will be a scrappy 4-3 on aggregate or 5-4 on aggregate, and then they will go and be outdone by Madrid or demolished by Atletico. But with that performance, it brings about a new chapter of confidence, a new chapter of belief, and a new chapter of drive. I think the magnitude at which Arsenal fans believe in themselves and players, altogether, the magnitude at which we believe in ourselves right now must have increased by a little bit, like 35 to 45%. And that is the importance of one huge, gargantuan win. When you get it, it's important. Like we always say, when it rains, it pours. So psychologically, that win means Arsenal are in a position to go and believe we can go past Atletico and go and believe that we can go and go past Real Madrid. Madrid have had their own struggles this campaign, and so do Atletico Madrid. With Atletico Madrid, you don't want them to demolish you at the Wanda Metropolitano, otherwise the job will be undoable. What you want is go to go to the Wanda Metropolitano. You could lose 2-1, you could lose 3-2, and then come at the Emirates Stadium and do a fantastic job against them. With Real Madrid, they have a very, very interesting team, a couple of talents in there, but I also believe if Arsenal focused, our defensive record and our defensive shape is so good that a team like Madrid would score maybe twice, and if we could get 4 or 3 past them across both legs, then Arsenal could progress. I think in the quarterfinals, it won't be about beauty, it won't be about competence, it will be about who can get the job done. Now, who has a record of getting jobs done in the Champions League? That is Real Madrid. Probably we might borrow a leaf from their book. That is one thing they literally do very well, Madrid. They get jobs done in the Champions League. They've done it against Manchester City, they've done it against PSG, they've done it against Dortmund, they've done it against Bayern, they've done it against each and every team that you'll ever think about. Madrid are the real deal in the Champions League. But they're not a team to avoid this campaign. This campaign, I think they're still struggling with, finding out how do we best use Vinicius and Mbappe and Rodrigo and Diaz and all these other players and Bellingham. How do we get them to perform at the best level they can? And their manager could also be leaving. So I think Arsenal have a real chance in the UEFA quarterfinals. But I also want to say this. Beating PSV all alone doesn't guarantee you going past Atletico. It doesn't guarantee you going past Madrid. It's just sheer optimism. Let's say Arsenal went past Real Madrid and we went into the semi-finals. That is where I think things get a little bit interesting. Now, if you've gone past Atletico Madrid or if you've gone past Real Madrid and you're in the semi-finals, whoever is waiting for you in the semi-finals must be afraid. This is a team that has gone past Real Madrid. And in the semi-finals, it's either PSG or Liverpool. That is in my opinion. We will play that. We will either play PSG or Liverpool in the semi-finals. Now with PSG actually, they've had a very good season, and I think they're literally turning around their ship. Liverpool have had a very good season too, but I think at some point in time, PSG will do a job against Liverpool. So I think we might do a semi-final where PSG is on the other hand, and either Arsenal or one of the teams that will beat us from Madrid. But let's say it's Arsenal versus PSG. PSG are really good attacking ways. But what actually frightens me about them is they're such a complete team. They're such a well-organized team. They're not the PSG we used to know, where they used to pick a few brilliant talents and few very expensive signings and then band them together and things don't work out. They're now a team that 100% comes with a very organized squad, from their goalkeeper to their strikers. It looks like they're building a philosophy, and if you're going to beat them, you must find a way around their philosophy. But I think Arsenal can do a job against PSG if we can do a job against Real Madrid. That takes us to the final. And in the final, you might play either Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen, or Inter Milan. It's not going to be easy. Who do I want of all these teams? It's difficult to say. Anyone would say Leverkusen because they don't know how Xabi Alonso is a freak of a manager. I would never, ever ask for Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen. Inter Milan is the same. I think they are a very, very difficult team. And the manager, no. I really want to avoid teams that have very good management. That is Inter Milan, that is Leverkusen, and that is Barcelona under Hansi Flick. So I might opt for Bayern. Of course, listen, Bayern have always done a job on us all the time. And with Vicente Kompany, I am underestimating them, aren't I? But why I'm going for Bayern is because of the lack of experience of Vicente Kompany and the fact that I think both of them, Mikel Arteta and Vicente Kompany, are students of Pep Guardiola, but I think Mikel is the better student and he can do a job on Bayern. Am I deluded? Probably. But hear me out. Leverkusen, Inter Milan or Barcelona, those teams, under the managers they have right now, you don't want to mess with them. So, why do I think it's easier for us to go for the Champions League rather than the Premier League? Why? Am I stupid? Probably I am. Am I deluded? 100%. But this is my reason. I think, apart from the psychology, which is going to play a big part, that Arsenal have beaten PSV 7 and we have gone there early and we can prepare, and also the Premier League weight is off us, which was not the case last season. I think the Premier League is no longer going game by game. It's about have Liverpool draw points and then pressure shifts towards us. If we win, there is no pressure that is shifting towards Liverpool because that would just mean they're 7 points ahead. So I think with the Champions League, Arsenal have the chance to go game by game. And Mikel Arteta, every time he's gone game by game, he has come close. And maybe the question will now be in the semi-finals or in the final, can Arsenal get over the line? But when it comes to Arsenal getting game by game and going game by game, I don't think we are a team to just throw in the bin. So the fact that Arsenal have Madrid coming up in 2 games, that is easier it's a smaller piece of information to deal with as compared to Arsenal have 10 games and have to pray that Liverpool lose 3 or 4 of those 10 games. I don't think it's going to happen. So the Champions League is easier because you focus on your next game and you have fewer opponents to focus on. If you beat Madrid in the quarterfinals and you beat PSG in the semis, you are left with one game, and that is the final. And we know Mikel Arteta has done it before. He has played and won the FA Cup in his first season with Arsenal, although it was just the FA Cup. I mean, this is a different magnitude. But we are the underdogs, kind of, in this title race. And if we can actually get a job done on Madrid and any of the teams that we'll face, maybe the underdogs could actually become title winners. Obviously, we have seen it happen before. We've seen Borussia Dortmund go to the final in 2012 and also last season. We have also seen FC Porto winning it with Jose Mourinho way back in 2002. I'm not saying Arsenal are going to do an FC Porto kind of vintage form and run. I'm saying we have made it to the final before in 2006 and we should have won it. So, could Arsenal go to the final? Yes. Do we deserve to be there? That's a different question, and maybe no, but I think we can. I mean, let me know your thoughts. Let me know. Thierry Henry said that Arsenal could win it, and the confidence from that game is going to matter. I'll speak to you right in